If you're looking to scale your business from 0 to 100,000, this is going to be the video for you. And these are the 6 steps you need to know that are going to help you grow your business. And it's not about hiring a VA. Let's get into it. Step 1, understand your competitors. Now, one of the biggest challenges I see in the reselling game is people are just caught on the hamster wheel. New product, new product, new product. This is not the way you want to go. The very best players in the game, they understand that they sell in one category. They have 5 to 10 brands that they're selling, and they understand the 10 to 20 suppliers that they're buying from. What they really understand is that by focusing down on one category, they decrease IP complaints, they understand when good deals exist, and they can buy deeper because when they see that good price, they're buying really deep, which just helps them secure the best possible deals and profits. And I've seen this time and time again by focusing on one category, a couple of brands, and knowing the suppliers. Always fighting for new suppliers is the best thing you can do. Now, one question you might ask is how do you figure out what categories and brands to focus on? You're going to look at your competitors. Check out this video that I recorded up here. It's going to help you out. Now, the second thing you want to understand is about decreasing your time from purchase to getting it into Amazon. One of the biggest problems I see with Amazon sellers is the fact that it just takes too long for their stock to get into Amazon. And stock which is not on sale is just wasting time. Some people can prep really fast at home. Other people are really slow with prep centers. Making sure that stock is not maybe on back order or the money's held up somewhere, but it's getting into Amazon as quickly as possible is going to be key for you turning your inventory fast and making the most of the capital you've got to grow. Now, the next area we want to look at is improving your product turnover in Amazon. Once your products are on sale in Amazon, you want to go into your Amazon selling account, you want to go into your inventory, and you want to look at your inventory dashboard. And particularly, you're going to be looking at the analytics, and you're going to be looking for that FBA sell-through rate. You want to be getting that at 2 or above. This basically means that you are selling your products twice every 90 days. So once every 45 days, your products come in, and on average, they are sold within 45 days. Anything beyond 2 or under 2, like 1.5, 1.6, really, you're probably just taking too slow to sell those products, and you're not using your capital quick enough. Now, on top of this, I'd strongly recommend ensuring that you have no inventory which is over 3 months. In my business, pretty much we will clear down even at a loss if we're not seeing that the inventory is selling, because holding on to stock which isn't selling is not only costing you storage fees, but also it means you're not buying other profitable deals which are probably really going to be making you money. Just take it on the chin, understand that you probably made a bad buy, get it cleared out at whatever price or loss, and then go buy something that's actually going to make you some money. Now, one of the big things we did when we looked at sourcing was even the ROI and the margin. Now, you can focus on ROI or margin when you do your sourcing, and if you are, look at maybe 30% ROI or a 15% gross margin. What you want to be thinking about is buying those products that are going to make you the profit and getting them in and getting them sold. Now, on top of this, a lot of people talk about buying 1 month's worth of stock. For me, I'd probably say buy less, maybe go about 2 weeks, not as deep unless you know that product's working really well and you know that you're going to win a lot of that buy box. But just going a little bit shallower means that you can now buy more products, turn them a lot quicker, and scale your business easier. Now, the 4th step is understanding your weekly priorities. So every single week when you're in your Amazon business, what should you be focusing on? Now, in my business, point number 1, spend all the money. Now, if you don't know how to understand how much money you've got available to spend, check out this video up here about cash flow, where I talk you through how to work out or calculate the exact number you have available to spend every single week. Now, after you've spent all the money, what we want to do is focus on improving that margin. Now, what we're particularly looking at is when we're reordering, what is the product selling for? And so if it's dropping below our average margin, then we probably won't reorder it, and we'll probably look to go higher and higher and higher. Now, this could be focusing on a 15, 16, 17% margin, absolutely fine. Or if you're looking at ROI, that's fine as well. You can focus on that. Also, you really want to think about stock with high turnover of inventory. Now, one of the big things is we've seen is a lot of the products we buy initially, especially when we're doing OA, they work really well, we reorder them, and then we start noticing more and more sellers come on the listing. When we see this, just start buying less and less and less. Even if it did sell well, because we just know there is more and more competition, and the amount we're going to sell isn't going to be as much. The turnover of our inventory is going to be a lot less. Now, I said it before and I'll say it again, anything over 90 days, clear down. You do not want this in your inventory. The final thing that I recommend here is we do it within our business. Twice a week, we go through our repricer, and particularly we're looking at those products whereby the market price is below our min price. And I want to analyze every single one of those products and ask why. Is it the fact that my repricing is too high? If it is, I'll probably bring it down. If it's the fact that I've just bought bad, I need to understand why. And if it means that I'm probably never going to get my money back in the next 2 months, I'll probably clear it down for whatever price I get. But I need to understand why did this price crash so I don't continue to make that mistake. So important. Now, this leads me nicely onto my 5th step called the product review process. And I learned this from become a $10 million Amazon seller. He sold $10 million in his second year, which is incredible. My VAs, they will analyze a deal that is sold, and we're looking for deals that are done really well or really badly. Now, what we're particularly looking for is how do we predict the price? What I mean by that is if the price we thought was going to sell for $50, for example, and it sold for 75, why? What can we learn from that so that we can maybe do that again? But also, if we thought it was going to sell for 50 and it sold for 38, which is a big difference, then why did it crash? What can we learn and make sure we don't do that again? And what we're particularly looking for is understanding what's happening with our products, why the prices are working and why they're not. This is game changing. And what's really interesting about this is it's only by reflecting on what's working do we actually learn. So in my business, we make sure that not only I'm doing it, I scan my products every single day, my actual sources, my purchasing manager write a format. They have a set structure that they use to review products, and that just improves their learning because my sources are now understanding what's actually happening when the product sells, which is perfect. Now I will add to this, my purchasing manager not only does this, but they also look at how much stock we purchased, because we want to make sure that we're not buying too much stock or we're not buying too little. And ideally we want to make sure we're hitting between 2 and 4 weeks worth of stock. And if it's lasted in that period, fantastic. If it's less, then we bought too little. If it's more, then also we bought too much. We need to figure out why so that we calculate the stock better. Now my sixth and the final step that I recommend for you, creating small masterminds. And what we're talking about is particularly 2 to 5 people who are going to work collaboratively together. Now the ideal setup for this is challenging. In an ideal world, you want to share all your buy sheets, because if you're buying something that someone else likes, they want to be able to buy it. If they're buying something that you don't know about, you also want to buy it. Now obviously you're not going to go crazy and buy 2 months worth of stock each. You're going to buy a couple of each. But now what you're doing is combining your sourcing pools together. But the other advantage to this is the fact that when someone's buying something wrong, you're going to spot it and say, hey, don't buy that, that's a problem. You've got other people checking your deals and you're checking other people's deals, which just gives you much better security and feedback. Now to add to this and take it to the next level, what you're really looking to do is give each other access to your profit and loss software. So you can actually see how much profit each of you are making, and you can see which products are working and which ones are not. And what you're really looking for is to try and help understand how each other's businesses are working, who's doing really well in certain areas, and then you can learn from that, which is amazing. We also understand whose stores are whose. If someone's repricer is not working very well, or maybe they repriced wrong, we can just say, hey, that product you're repricing, why are you so low? Like, you should bring it up. You've now got 5 of you doing that check. So collaboratively, you're just working so much more efficiently, and there are so many more eyes spot checking, asking how things work, and learning from each other. What you're really looking for are A, people who invest in themselves, and particularly they're going to be people who have spent money on education. They're not trying to do it all for free, but they will actually buy courses or they'll invest in things and they'll share that knowledge with you, which is great. Number 2, you really want someone to have complementary skills. So if you're a good sourcer, getting someone else who's a good sourcer might not be the best thing. But say, for example, if you're a good sourcer and I'm really good at VAs or processes and documenting it, then we might be a good match. I can document what you're doing, I can share it with VAs, fantastic, and we can scale that way. Or maybe someone's a good sourcer and the other good repricer or inventory management. All these little things bring value. As you talk through the communities, you'll start to find these people who are adding value to you that you will work well together. Now, the final thing I'll say about masterminds, which I absolutely love, is number 1, they help push you. A lot of the times I've wanted to go off on a tangent, maybe open up Walmart or do eBay or another marketplace or something. The other people on mastermind just said, hey, there is enough money to be made here. You should be focusing on that. And I've talked through my concerns and they said, no, I think you're being stupid. And because of that, I've now just focused on growing my business rather than diverging off into different things and getting distracted, which just wastes time. And at the end of the day, the net result is that my revenue has grown and the profitability has grown as well. And that is what I'm really looking for in my business. Now, what I would say, if you like that video, do check out the video around here. I'll share with you, which is going to really help support you in growing your business around scaling. So check that out.